Get familiar, ladies and gentlemen. Clint Sparks, Get Familiar Radio. Round of applause. Yes. We got a good friend of the, thank you. Simmer down, guys. Yes, so we got a good friend of the building. We got a good friend of the show. We got a good friend of the station. We got a good friend of Dash, who's a Southern Californian gangster rapper with hardcore street-centric rhymes. Do you like that definition?
You know I was in my head like,
Ladies and gentlemen, we got Nipsey Hussle in the building.
Yeah, what up?
By the way, it says that on Wikipedia. That's why I said it.
I could tell you was reading the Wikipedia bio.
I didn't sound, why? Because I don't sound that pro?
Nah, I mean, it was real. It sounded like a bio, for sure.
It was allmusic.com wrote that about you.
Yeah, you know, it was close. You know, they came close.
Well, thank you for coming through, man. We appreciate that.
Always. Thank y'all for having me, bro.
Of course, every time. Like I said, you are a family member of Dash and Get Familiar Radio. We go back a long time.
Most definitely.
Back to the basketball court.
I was just telling
parties.
I was just telling you.
What was you saying? I said, wait till we go on air. What was you saying?
I say he do Vegas like a boss. You know, had the full court in the suite. You know.
We used
bowling alley and all that.
So we used to do parties all the time in Vegas, and what was that? That was at the Palms.
Yeah.
So I used to have a residency there, and I used to get the suite every week with a basketball court. And one time, like, I wasn't really the guy that was like running around partying and drinking.
Right.
I just made sure there was plenty of Ciroc.
No question.
And I made sure that the invites were there for everybody.
Off top.
And I would be in my room in a robe,
right,
watching a movie, drinking some tea.
Right.
Right. So then I come out one day, and I see Nipsey there, shirtless, playing basketball.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, Nipsey Hussle's here.
Off top.
Welcome to the party.
Off top.
Get familiar. It was a victory.
Most definitely.
It was a victory. It was a victory.
No pun intended.
Yeah, no, there was a pun intended.
All right, well, yeah. The album coming, by the way. You know what I'm saying?
Let's talk. I mean, that's what we're here for. We're here for a lot of things. So let's talk about that. The new album, Victory Lap.
Yeah, definitely. It's done. You know, the pre-sales going up, you know, tonight. Single dropping.
So they're not $100 a copy.
Nah,
okay.
Not on this one. We have a Proud to Pay product. It's not the album, but we gonna go into that pretty soon.
So let's before we talk about the album, let's go back a little bit because there's a lot of things. I mean, you got a lot of history in hip hop, and you've done a lot of things and admirable things.
Thank you.
So let's go back to. We'll go in different phases. The was it Pray to Pay?
Proud to Pay.
Proud to Pay.
Yeah.
Campaign that you launched, which you sold your album for $100 a copy, which is a very innovative marketing program that you put together.
Yeah.
And even Jay-Z bought 100 copies.
Yeah.
Right. By the way, do you ever get the opportunity to thank him in person for that?
Yeah, I did at the Made in America concert in LA. I got a chance to chop it.
Have you? Did he tell you exactly why he wanted to go buy 100 copies of your album?
Nah, not in detail.
No.
Nuh-uh.
Have you been able to repay the favor yet?
Man, nah, I haven't. You know.
Well, I would say you have.
Yeah.
You know what your repayment was?
What?
Putting out dope shit.
Right.
Round of applause for dope shit for Nipsey Hussle. Come on, man.
I like that.
You should have had that answer. Where's your PR?
I like that. Nah, but yeah, that's real because he supported the artist, so that way it helped me to keep going. So in return, I put out continuously great music, hopefully. You know what I'm saying?
Of course you have, which is why you've survived and maintained and sustained for so long. I mean, you've been around as long as we've all been around.
No question.
It's funny because, and tell me how you feel about this, it's artists that were like kind of making noise 10 years ago that I wouldn't say like fell off, but like, you know, there was a wave where like maybe like a bunch of people that were cracking 10 years ago weren't as cracking at a certain period. And now it's almost like they're cracking all over again, and maybe even more than they were back when they were buzzing 10 years ago.
Right.
Do you agree with that?
I mean, yeah, in some cases, definitely. I think that it's like certain artists show staying power.
Yeah, and it's like 10. Here we are, like 10 years later, and even you are bigger and more popular, more important, more relevant, more stronger than you were maybe 10 years ago.
For sure, I agree with that. Yeah, I think that was the goal. You know, I think in my case, I didn't come in and just have like a explosive, straight to the top. My thing was like it was a slow cook, and I made consistent progress. I think at times, you know, I had challenges, you know what I mean? But I think, like we were saying, I showed staying power. I put out quality music, and we made moves with integrity. We ain't do no clown shit and like nothing to like smut our names. We kept it solid the whole way through. And we just put out dope shit and stayed honorable. And
was there ever a point during like, was 2005 was like your first album, right?
Well, that was like post the industry. 05 was like in the hood in LA at the trunk. 07, 08, Bullets Ain't Got No Names mixtape. So around then was when I got like receives. You know what I mean?
See, but real people, real fans know 2005. We're gonna go with 2005.
Yeah. No, I mean that was like a real local project. So it was like they caught it on later, but it really nobody got that but people in the hood. And then later on, people went back and it was on the internet and they got it.
Was there ever a point from then to now that you were like, man, I don't know if I don't know if this music thing's working out?
Yeah, I felt like that early on, just before I ever really had fans and anything, because I was always stopping doing one thing to do music. Yeah. So I would have to stop hustling to go make music, and I would feel that. Yeah. So when I ain't just make hit records immediately, I'm like, I can't sit right here forever. I gotta get back in the, I gotta go grind and put it together. Yeah. So I was trying to like ping pong for a while, and that made me just like stop, get frustrated, go back to just full-time grinding, put myself in a more comfortable position, fuck back with the music again, get frustrated, and I was doing that for a while, and eventually I was just like, I keep coming back to the music because I love it.
What was the song or the project that made you say like, all right, nah, this is starting to move, like this is working?
Man, me and my homeboy Jay Stone, we had some mixtapes local in our hood, and his was called The Grind Don't Stop. Mine was called Fuck the Middleman. And it was like early, like 03. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And we was doing like concerts on the block on 10th Ave and 63rd. You know what I'm saying? Performing, and we just had like a real local, small group of people that I was feeling what we was doing. Yeah. And so that we built on that.
So speaking of early days, Manny Fresco was telling me earlier that Kid Ink produced one of your first records.
Yeah, that's a hidden fact. Yeah, that's an unknown fact.
That's revealed here on Get Familiar Radio.
Yeah, Kid Ink. That's one of my early producers. That really one of my friends, but also a producer.
Yeah, like he put me on. I'm from New York, so when I came, I started working with him. I'm like, I'm always asking people if they're picking their brain, and I'm like. He's like, Nipsey Hussle. I'm like, he was like, I came in as a producer. I'm like, I made his first song. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. I didn't believe that shit.
He made a lot of my records. The one I got my first record deal off of was called Bullets Ain't Got No Names.
Ain't Got No Names, exactly.
He produced that. But then even before that, he produced a lot of the records that was on the mixtapes. He used to have an apartment, him and his mom. You know what I'm saying?
Tammy.
She a G. You know what I'm saying? We used to go over there and get beats. And I remember when he first started playing his songs, like, I'm rapping. I'm like, he always knew how to make songs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he definitely got a crazy ear.
Yeah, and just for his early shit, that was the first thing I noticed. Like, damn, he understood song structure immediately. And you know what I'm saying? Like,
man, I slept on him. I didn't know how musical he was until I got to the studio with him. I'm like, wow, no. He knows how to definitely break down and sequence a song and all those.
Yeah. It's crazy when producers start making the transition to rap, they normally are good songwriters because they arrange beats. So they automatically know when the bridge is supposed to come in and when the hook supposed to come in because they arrange music so much with the beat, they just write like that. You know what I'm saying?
Did you ever want to like make beats?
I did make beats first. That's another unknown fact. I'm dropping bars on you today.
Get familiar.
Hey, no, listen.
Receipts on Get Familiar Radio.
That's a real fact. I used to make beats primarily. Like I used to make beats for Cuzzy. I don't know if anybody.
Cuzzy?
Yeah, Cuzzy Capone. He another artist from LA from our area that's crazy. But we grew up in the same studio together and all that. And I used to be the producer and worked on his album as a producer, like with an MPC and with a Trinity rack and all that.
Were you like, I'm nice, but I'm like, I want to rap? Or
like what made you start producing?
Man, I think I ain't have enough rappers rapping on my beats. You know what I'm saying? So it was like.
So you start rapping on your own shit?
A little bit, yeah. And then it's easier to rap than it is to make, in my case, than it is to make beats. You need equipment. You could just write raps all day. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yo, you don't happen to have that song, do you? The one Kid Ink produced for Nipsey? Do we have access to that?
I can pull
you got Bullets Ain't Got No Names?
Yeah.
So that's
early.
So we're going to play early Nipsey Hussle.
Yeah, that's early
produced by Kid Ink.
Yeah.
Another person who I'm saying, like, here we are years later.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They develop and so let's play that record. You got that, Manny?
Yeah,
Manny Fresco got it. What's it called again?
It's called Bullets Ain't Got No Names.
Bullets Ain't Got No Names.
It's the title track off of my first mixtape series. I had 3 mixtapes under that same title. This the track by that name.
Then we're gonna come back, talk about Victory Lab. We're gonna talk about Marathon. We're gonna talk about everything else. We're gonna talk about your entrepreneurship, all that stuff. Nipsey Hussle's here. Get familiar, baby.
Yeah.
Yes, get familiar. We are back. Nipsey Hussle is in the building.
Yeah.
Get Familiar
Some
Radio.
noise.
Hit us up at Get Familiar. What is your Instagram?
Nipsey Hussle.
At Nipsey Hussle. But everybody might not know how to spell hustle.
NIPSEYHUSSLE. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, all the shit.
Get Familiar. So the song you just heard, that wasn't new Nipsey. That was early
that's
Nipsey.
That's throwback, classic, vault, early, day one hustle.
I mean, some hip hop facts, like I like to call it. We'll look back at those facts.
Yeah.
So we learned some facts on the show today. We learned one that Kid Ink produced Nipsey Hussle's first record.
And the record that I got my first deal off
him. We learned that Nipsey Hussle was a producer before he was a rapper.
Yeah.
What else did we learn? We also learned that Nipsey Hussle is a Southern Californian gangster rap with hard street-centric rhymes.
Facts.
Facts. Thank you, allmusic.com.
So were you a hustler before a producer now?
Definitely was a hustler before I was a producer.
Selling candy in the...
Definitely sold candy, shine shoes, cut grass, water lawns. Man, everything.
Oh, so that grind started early.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's the common denominator in a lot of people too that sustain and perseveres. They had even before they were successful, they would do exactly what you just did.
Yeah.
That's the same with me. Like I didn't know how not to work.
Right. Yeah.
All other kids are playing sports and stuff. I'm like, man, I'm trying to get a job and do 5 jobs at once.
Off
And
top.
odd job. When I was 12 years old, I started a company called Rent-A-Teen, which is literally you rent a teenager
To do work.
to mow your lawn, clean your house, go pick up your groceries for old people and stuff. Like I was early.
You was ahead
But
of your car.
another common thing why that happens, broke kids come up with those ideas.
Definitely.
And that was
necessity definitely brings.
And it was like, man, I want a good pair of sneakers. How am I going to get that shit? My mom
sure.
can't get it.
For sure. And that build character. You know what I mean? Like learning how to figure it out. And it's like you be proud of that. You get older and look back and it's like I was resourceful as a kid. We made shit happen. You know what I mean?
At that time, did you feel like you already knew that you had those small wins? Like, did you know what you were accomplishing while you were doing it?
Yeah, when you get some money and you was broke.
Little victories.
Hell yeah. You feel that. You go, we used to want to go swimming. At the pool, it costs $1 to go swimming. And I used to be a mission to get $1, to put it together. You know what I mean? And we had asked the lady to help her take her groceries in, give us a quarter or some shit like that. You know what I mean? Or whatever we could do. But yeah, that was felt like
Can I ask you
mission complete,
Did you have a father growing up?
Yeah, definitely.
So your father's around and in your life?
Yeah, my dad didn't live with us, but he lived 10 minutes down the street.
So he helped still guide you in life?
Yeah, most definitely.
Does that play a role in you being a father now?
Of course, I would think so. Like I say, we wasn't in the house with each other. I'd go to my pop's house and then I'd go back to my mom's house. But Pops was always 100. He was always thorough and consistent. And you know what I'm saying, just kept it 1,000.
Consistent is definitely a good quality from father.
For sure.
So do you celebrate those little victories, or do you feel like you don't look at your highlights right now? You're still in the game.
I think that you appreciate it. I don't think you doing no end zone dances. You know what I mean? You getting back to the line, but you appreciate it. And, you want to play for the big win, which is to be to cement yourself in the game and in the history, and also put yourself in a position financially that it's forever.
So have you reached your victory lap, as cliche as it is? Have you reached where you feel like I'm already won?
Well, nah, what I mean by that, by titling my album Victory Lap, is I came from my other environment with goals, and with a way I wanted to be positioned in this game. And I think that this represent accomplishing that. So it's now I got goals from being here in this position, on some music goals and you know what I mean, career
the
goals.
Entrepreneurship.
Yeah, but just from being a street dude from LA, looking at rap.
Put your hands up already, right?
Yeah, now I'm Nip Hussle. You know what I mean? That's a win. And that was the biggest, that was the longest distance. That was the most ground we had to cover. That was a lot of distance from there to right here.
It's like a marathon.
No pun intended.
It was definitely intended.
Definitely like a marathon. That's
No,
why
but I get it. You win a college championship, you can still celebrate, but you're trying to get to the NBA. You're trying to.
you know what I mean? It's levels.
Absolutely.
So it's it's a different phase, and we got goals for this phase too.
So for people that don't know, Nipsey Hussle is more than an artist, more than a label owner. He's an entrepreneur. What are some of the businesses that you've had endeavors with outside of music?
Well, we got the Marathon Clothing, and then we got the store, which is a separate thing, but we sell the clothing in the store. The store is it's a smart store. Yeah. All the products is encoded with content.
Oh, dope.
It was one of the first smart stores. You know, the NBA recently integrated content into their jerseys using augmented reality, which is what we did first with the Marathon store. We got a real estate development company called SC Capital Ventures. We was involved in bringing back World on Wheels.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I thought you were gonna bring us some fish.
That's not ready. The fish market ain't all the way up and running yet. We still renovating it and putting together the fryers and all that. But yeah, we working on the fish market. We got a cell phone shop. We partners with Fat Burger. You know, so we got a couple things going on. It's not just me though. I got a team. You know, my brother Adam. You know, Fats, rest in peace. We was all partners on everything.
And that's all working out.
Man, you know, it's a blessing. It's you know, everything got challenges and it ain't just all thriving at all times, but it been positive progress on all of the businesses. We got a company called Elite Hair too, where we sell like extension and weave and stuff for the girls. And all
that bundles been going.
Them bundles been going.
Them bundles been going. No, but it's dope. I really commend you, like, because anybody that comes from any hood and any part of America, wherever you listen to this from, it's like making something in your own hood when you know it's like maybe not the coolest area or maybe it's not the like, and really making it something and coming back to your own hood means a lot, because I know a lot of people that have popped off and they don't know where they came from or where you know.
Well, it's good because he's one of us.
Yeah.
So it's like, and he's doing well. It gives me hope.
Yeah.
That like he did it. He came from the same place as me. It's funny because when I was younger, I never wanted to. I did a lot of like dirt when I was young, and I never wanted to promote that for two reasons. One, I feel like anybody in hip hop that does it is like, you say it to get your stripes, right? Like, man, I used to do da-da-da. Right? And two, I never wanted a kid to look and say, well, look what Clinton Sparks did. He's doing all right.
Right.
So I never wanted to talk about any whack shit that I did.
Right.
But now I feel like as I'm getting older and I got a son on my own, I feel like it's my responsibility to show where you can go down the wrong route and that I'm one in a million that came out okay.
Now you have to say that you're the really exception and not the rule.
Yeah, you gotta tell them what worked. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously what you did is not what you're doing right now. And what you're doing is what worked. So to give them the game about what worked, you know what I mean? And don't be dishonest. Yeah, this is where we went wrong at, but this what worked right here. So this is where we gonna put the emphasis, you know?
It was the hustle mentality. Just take it and aim it for good now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, same energy, just directing it towards something that you don't go to jail and get killed behind.
That's why I asked if you had a father in life, because I didn't when I was young. So I didn't have anybody to guide me and say, you shouldn't do that. That's wrong, man. You might get shot doing that shit. And then, but then as I got older, I realized like, man, dude, like I can go to jail for the rest of my life. Because when you're young, you don't understand consequences.
Or you just think you're the one that's going to wiggle through.
Slick through.
You don't have that fear.
You're going to be the slick one.
That little fear, you don't have it.
Yeah, until you start.
Plus, you got nothing to lose, really. You don't understand that when you're young. You don't realize you have a future to lose.
Yeah, definitely.
You just don't know the severity. You ain't really seen them places. You don't know how real it get and how, you know, you will be disposable. They'll really get rid of you. In a real way. You know what I'm saying? And
it's humbling.
It'll happen to you. You know what I'm saying? So
well, let's talk about the most recent win for Nipsey Hussle.
Talk to me.
How about before we talk about that, let's play another record. And then we'll come back. We'll talk about the victory lap. We'll talk about your new deal at Atlantic Records. Another big power move.
Absolutely.
Putting on. So what do you want to play? What's the new single called?
It's called Rap Niggas, man. It's just dropping.
I won't say the title. You say it.
Yeah, it's called Rap Niggas. You know what I'm saying? Off the Victory Lap album. It's the first single produced by Mike and Keys. Press play, man. Check it out.
Hold on. Before you press play, let me ask this question. How does a white person say the title of that song?
Rap hitters.
Rap people?
Rap people. Okay. Rap blank. You know what I'm saying?
Nipsey also rap people on Get Familiar Radio.
There we go.
All right, we're back. That's rap people.
Yeah, rap people.
Rap individuals.
Rap niggas.
Nipsey Hussle's in the building. Get familiar.
Yeah.
Get familiar radio. Got my man Manny Fresco here. We got my man Will, WandaSet.com in the building. So let's talk about your new deal with Atlantic Records. It's not a deal where you're an artist that you're signed and they control you and they tell you what to do and you got an A&R that tells you what records are hot and they spend all your budget. You are the man in charge. It's a label deal. Explain that to up-and-coming artists that don't understand the power that you just put yourself in, the power position.
Yeah, it's a partnership, you know, and Atlantic as a label, the artist part of it, I will function as an Atlantic artist. We just have a partnership between my company and Atlantic for that artist. You know, so well,
that gives you more control.
Yeah, most definitely. And it's you know, the deal was done between the label, All Money In and Atlantic for Nipsey. You know what I'm saying? So obviously I'm Nipsey, so I'm speaking from being involved in the label side and as the artist. But you know, it was what we was holding out for. You know, we wanted to come in as a partner. We wanted to bring more than just music to the table. We wanted to be involved with marketing and with the ideas, and just, you know, also we wanted to be involved on the back end as partners. You know,
now, are they involved with other Nipsey ventures or just this music label?
Just the music label. You know what I'm saying? And really just the Nipsey projects on the music label for right now. And
you'll be bringing other artists underneath that label as well?
Well, yeah, it'll be something that, you know, obviously we gonna get the first look to Atlantic with everything we do. And if they believe in the stuff we doing, then we gonna do it together. And if they be like, we'll do this, you know, this one here, or this, we'll pass on this, y'all do this outside the building, it'll just be something we bring to them first.
And the first project that will be coming out of that is the Victory Lap album.
Most definitely.
So let's talk about the Victory Lap album. How long was that in the making for?
Man, I've been working on this album, you know, not even on and off, just, you know, for the past 2.5, 3 years. Really since I came.
Are we still ping-ponging just with different things?
Man, nah, it's done. It's turned in. At this point, it's like little art edits and everything maybe, but everything is committed to finalized, mastered, mixed, and everything. Ali mixed and mastered it. Yeah, so like 3 years since I came off the Crenshaw tour, we went in and started recording this project. And, you know, I dropped mixtapes, I dropped Mailbox Money since then, I dropped Slauson Boy too, and, you know, No Pressure stuff. So I dropped music since then, but I just been like, my great records, the songs that I felt were great songs, I was tucking them. And then, you know, I just wanted to make sure that I could listen to it top to bottom. I wanted to make sure that everything I said, you know, you could solo it and play it a cappella and I'll still be proud of it. I wanted to like really push myself creatively and just make something next level. You know,
so you didn't feel the need to try to fit in like the current wave?
Nah, I don't play that game. I'm not good at that. I ain't never won doing that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think that anybody really wins trying to fit in any scenario. So like, I think the challenge is to make it sound.
I think some people win
trying to fit in.
Yeah, I think some people like just try to jump in what's going on, but those people also aren't like people that have something to say and have a reputation like you. There'll be new dudes that just like, I'm just gonna do this stuff too, and it works.
That maybe they haven't created like a real person yet to even follow. Like I feel like you're like Nipsey's personality and know your character. Like as you come up, it's like, you know, something's manufactured. Like, okay, he's trying to get a hit record here.
Right.
He's trying to.
Yeah, and I mean, whatever you define a win as, because that's real. Everybody got a different definition of what they in the game for. I couldn't get my win trying to fit in. What I'm here to try to do, I couldn't do that trying to fit in. It wouldn't. What my goal, you can't get at what I'm trying to do that way. From my understanding of it, my experience with it, you got to be authentic and you got to define your shit and you got to make a contribution. Yeah. You know what I mean? You can't try to copy Ride Waves. You gotta define your contribution.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, we've seen a ton of examples of bandwagon shit that